Rewind whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
And I'm Laura. You didn't know who you were for a minute. Kelly was like, who am I?
Where am I?
Where am I? What
Okay,
am I
how
doing?
was your week?
Better than yours.
I was just going to say that.
All right.
Better than yours.
I'm going to give you guys a little update on my week. So it's Saturday right now. We're recording this on Saturday,
June 8th.
June 8th. On Sunday, June 3rd, I decided to go to the ER because I don't know if you remember, but when I did my last podcast recording, that was May 25th, I had fallen at a friend's house because I am a klutz, basically. I'm a klutz. And I had been in pain, but I had been nursing it and icing it and taking ibuprofen and thinking, I can walk on it. It's okay. But Sunday, June 3rd, the pain was just so severe. I couldn't get a comfortable place. So I said, let me go to the ER. I went there fully expecting them to tell me it's a sprain or a strain or I pulled a muscle or something. But it turns out I fractured 2 bones in my pelvis.
Yeah. So anybody out there who's like younger than us, this is what you got. This is what you got to look forward to.
Don't fall.
Yeah, taking tumbles. And,
Don't fall.
and
Don't
whatnot.
fall.
Don't
Yeah.
fall.
So we're gonna give it a whirl and see what happens, and hopefully Wendy's gonna get healed up quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm now home. I was in the hospital Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night. I got home Wednesday night at 5:30, and I will be starting physical therapy at home, hopefully on Monday.
Oh, there
So
you
that
go.
hopefully I will be, well on my way to recovery. But I'm already feeling better, to be quite
So
honest
there
with
you
you.
go.
That's good.
I'm already
That's good.
feeling better.
Do you feel like you could, because I know you and Bill like to go to the beach and sit all day. Do you feel like you could do that right now? I was thinking about that today.
Funny you say
because-
that because Bill asked me, "Can you go to the beach with me tomorrow?" I was
Yeah.
like, maybe a
No.
little too soon.
Yeah.
soon for that,
I
yeah.
have that pillow if you thought, but I feel like getting down into a beach chair might be.
Well, I have
Tricky.
the nice
you have one up
recliners.
high.
I have the nice reclining.
Okay.
Yeah, but
there's-
that's not it. It's the level ground.
it's
Yeah.
so-
Yeah. Even walking on the sand.
Yes, walking on the sand is rough.
yeah,
Yeah.
and going to the bathroom. I mean,
Yeah,
we
oh,
do
yeah.
put up our own
No,
little
no.
bathroom on the
Yeah,
beach.
yeah.
like it just
Listen.
would be a little much.
No.
Maybe next week.
I don't know. I don't think I'm ready for that just
I
yet.
don't think you are either.
I don't think I'm ready for that.
I
just
think
I
yet.
figured Bill would ask because I know he really enjoys that.
Yes.
I think we're just old, and we just have
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
just give ourselves time.
He did want me to go to the beach with him last Sunday, and that was my plan. I know that we had talked about that, but then I realized that it just wasn't going to happen. I just didn't have it in me.
and thank God you didn't.
Yeah.
Yep, good thing.
Because
God you didn't.
yeah, I just didn't have it in me.
All right, so I have some would you rather's.
Okay.
Excellent.
And we're gonna do our episode this evening is gonna be all about 80s and rock and roll and one band in particular that we watched docu-series on. So that's what our would you rather's are in the vein of.
Based on
Yes.
Okay.
Would you rather have lunch with Ozzy or Dee Snider?
Ozzy.
Ozzy.
Yeah, I think Ozzy. Too.
I won't understand a fucking thing he says, but I'm
No.
going to have lunch with
Maybe it'll
Ozzy.
be closed captioning.
yeah. Closed captioning. Yeah.
Wait, Eric and I say it all the time, though. How amazing is it that, because I watched that show, The Osbournes, you couldn't understand a thing he said, but when he gets up to sing, you
yeah.
can understand
You can
every
understand him.
word.
Yeah.
Because
That
you know
always
the
amazed
words.
me.
That's
You know
not
the
the
But he's
words.
so clear when he sings.
And then people speak, people who have an accent when they speak, and then they sing.
You don't hear the
you
accent
don't hear
at
the
all.
accent. It's craziness.
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather sing AC/DC or Led Zeppelin at karaoke?
Led Zeppelin.
I don't know. I think
I don't know. Back in Black.
I was just gonna
not Back in
say.
Black, but AC/DC has that like high pitched voice, so you sound like shit no matter what.
I
kind
think
of
I'd
thing.
like to sing Back in Black.
There you go.
Okay.
I don't know if I could get through it with my lung capacity.
Yeah, but you would.
But I would like to do that.
I
yeah.
have no idea what even Led Zeppelin song I would sing. I'll be quite honest with you. I don't know. Can you
What's
tell me
this?
some Led
Ocean.
Zeppelin?
Thank
The
you.
ocean, the
Thank
ocean.
you is a great song.
I like the ocean.
I don't even know if I know a Led Zeppelin song.
Oh, that's right.
I know the songs. I don't know the names of the songs.
Okay.
Like I could give you lyrics.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean?
Can you give us a couple?
Well.
I mean, sing it.
Just Stairway to
Oh,
Heaven.
no,
Come
I'm-
on, just sing
Oh, Stairway to Heaven?
Stairway to Heaven.
Okay, I know that one.
What's the other one? All of My Love.
All of my love.
I love All of My
Yes.
Love.
Why couldn't you give me Meatloaf?
Oh,
I
Meatloaf
don't
would be good.
know.
I would have taken Meatloaf.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Would you rather see the first Def Leppard show or the first Guns N' Roses show?
I'm neutral. Listen, I'm not really a rock and roller.
Yeah.
I liked my rock and roll.
I love both of those bands, quite honestly. I was a big Def Leppard girl. But
I would have been Def Leppard.
I think I would like to have seen Axl in his day.
In his day.
Like when Appetite for Destruction first came out.
Right.
I would have liked to see him and Slash in person then.
I'm going to tell you
I
something.
don't want to see him now.
Right. I would have worn my leopard.
Acid wash jeans?
No. My zebra spandex pants.
Nice.
That's what I would have worn that.
I bet you still have them.
I bet you
don't.
Slash would have been wearing the same thing.
I bet you would have. Twinsies. Okay, now I'm going to give you some song lyrics, and you have to guess the band.
Oh, bring it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've
So,
got nothing.
welcome to your life. There's no turning back. So, is it
Jon Bon Jovi.
Wait a fucking second. Is it?
It's Jon Bon Jovi. I just watched the docuseries.
Is it Bon Jovi?
Welcome to your life. It's now or never. Don't turn back.
It's "Living on a Prayer" by Jon
Bon Jovi. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
But
yeah.
she's so quick to answer
I
the fucking
know.
question. I'm trying to let the audience know what the answers are to pick from.
Yeah,
Wendy's
okay.
like,
Well, because I don't know anything. I seriously, I know nothing. I only know that one because I just watched it.
okay.
I
We're
don't
going
know
to try
rock.
this again. We're
All
going
right,
to try this again,
all right.
Wendy.
Wait for the multiple choice.
Yes, please. Okay. So, the lyric is, all the bad boys are standing in the shadows and the good girls are home with broken hearts. Is it Modern Love by David Bowie, Karma Chameleon by Culture Club,
No.
Free Fallin' by Tom Petty, or The Sweetest Taboo by Sade?
What are the lyrics?
It's right there on the screen.
We can't see it, though. It's behind us.
Hold on. Yeah, I can't twist like that, man.
All the bad boys are standing in the shadows and the good girls are home with broken hearts.
I have no clue.
Wait,
but I'll
was one
venture
of
a
the
guess.
choices Loverboy?
No.
I see.
I'll go Free Fallin'.
It is Free Fallin'.
Yeah.
Very good.
Okay. Tom Petty, right?
Very good. Yes.
Okay.
So the lyric is, traveling in a fried out combi on a hippie trail, head full of zombie. Is it Thriller by Michael Jackson, Down Under by Men at Work, 500 Miles by the Hooters, or Seconds by the Human League?
Down Under by Men at Work.
Or 500 Miles. Down Under?
Down
Okay.
Under.
See, I know the stupid shit. Nobody. Who listens to Down Under by Men at Work? Me.
I
That
don't.
song.
Exactly.
Okay, so this week we're talking about Mr. Jon Bon Jovi.
Thank you. Good night.
Yes.
It was on Hulu. It was a docuseries on Hulu.
4 episodes, but some were longer than others.
I'd say it was about 6 hours total.
For sure.
Yeah, it was long.
The second episode was like an hour and a half.
Yeah, it was long.
And the last one was 70 minutes because I just finished it like an hour ago.
Yeah. So the whole reason this whole docuseries started is because John, back in 2022, was aware that his 40th anniversary was coming. And he decided to start going through his archives. And in the process of going through his archives, he said, you know what, I think I'm going to document this and just, see what comes of it.
Yeah.
So that's how this whole kind of docuseries wound up happening. One of the things I will say about this docuseries is because, again, I'm not a rock and roll fan. Like, that wasn't the thing I listened to. I was like a top 40, whatever.
Yeah.
But the popular songs, I knew his songs and I knew of him. And what I didn't like about this is because I didn't really know his story. It's all over the board.
They flash back, flash forward, present time, flash back, flash forward, present time.
It's not even present time because it's like they flash back.
That's, yeah.
And then they go to 2018.
Right.
And then they flash back and then when he was in high school and then they go to 2022.
Right.
It is very confusing, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah. I realized that every song I love by them, because I wasn't a huge Bon Jovi fan, although I will say this, he was much hotter than I remember him being.
He was very
was
good looking.
fucking
I
hot.
told you.
And I don't remember thinking that at the time.
Yes.
However, all of the songs I loved and know every single word to were all on that Slippery When Wet album. All of them. So that must have just been the one album I listened to, and not any of the others.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you girls. So did you ever have, like, the whole Bon Jovi, Rat, Def Leppard, that kind of gig where you would wear, like I said, the zebra spandex?
I had the
and
denim
whole...
jacket with all the pins. You know, used to go to the mall with I had the white snake pins.
That was
so
not
Wendy
me.
did not have that.
I was Michael Jackson.
Okay.
I was doing my Thriller thing.
I used to love Rat. Oh my God.
I loved Rat.
That, but it's
Motley Crue.
Yes, that whole glam rock thing.
Exactly.
I liked it. I
Yep.
liked it. I was into
And they kind of came in, but they weren't. I mean, they weren't putting really makeup on, these guys.
No, but they did.
But
do
they
the
were
whole glam
around the
rock
same
thing.
time.
I
Yeah,
mean, they had
with the hair,
the fishnet,
yes,
ripped
yes.
fishnet thing, and the hair, and the scarves, and the dusters.
Yeah.
and the whole. Yeah. So I was just curious as to.
Yeah, for sure. I was into it.
So he starts out that they're going to be rehearsing for 3 weeks for this 40th anniversary tour. And then they're going to go on tour. He had never rehearsed more than 4 days. But, you know, they're a lot older now.
Yeah.
It's a lot older. And they're rehearsing in what used to be Giant Stadium. And he had played there back in the day. And now it's a building that really isn't even used anymore.
Which is a shame.
It's such a shame.
It really is
Foolishness.
such a shame.
It is foolishness.
Yeah.
Can we make it a homeless shelter?
Something.
Can we use it for good?
Yeah. I know. Right? Or even use it for a music venue.
Yeah, have a
Yeah.
concert there.
Yeah,
What's the
like
problem?
you don't have to do it doesn't have to be the new Giant Stadium. MetLife
Right.
is it MetLife
Yeah,
right now?
MetLife
It doesn't have to
Stadium.
be that big giant venue. It can be the smaller venue, and
Yeah.
you can
Smaller
still.
venues
Is it
are
in the
better
same
anyway.
complex?
I really don't know, to be quite honest
Yeah, I
with you,
don't know.
because I feel like I've been to Giant Stadium pretty recently, and that big mall is right there
It's
next to it.
Meadowlands, right?
Well, yeah, the mall, the big,
Yeah,
whatever,
Mall of
million-
America or whatever.
no,
Yeah.
that's Minnesota.
Oh, I've
I
never
know
been
what
there.
you mean, though. What is it? What the? What's
What
the
is
name?
wrong with us? See, we're old.
Old.
It's the big mega mall in New Jersey. You guys
Yeah.
know what it is.
The one they just built.
Yeah.
That has
So-
skiing in it and shit.
Yes,
What is
and
it?
water parks. But
Yeah.
anyway, I don't know if that other building is still on that same property. It can't be that far, though. I don't know where it is. And then he was talking about how he's kind of, how he got into the business, how he was 16 years old and he was playing in clubs when the drinking age was 18.
How you doing?
So-
Aren't we all?
Well, it wasn't 18 when I was 16. He's a
No,
little bit
but
older.
I was still there. I was still there like I was 18.
Yeah, I had a fake ID since I was 17, so
Absolutely.
I was there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was able to, hang out with people who were seasoned performers.
Yeah, Bruce.
Yeah, I mean, he was able to hang out with seasoned performers when he first started.
Yeah.
And he really, I was just impressed with his whole story of how much he just had grit.
Yeah.
He said, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to do whatever it takes. And, he had his cover band, and then he decided, no, I want to write my own music. I don't want to sing other people's songs.
Right.
But I don't know how to do that. So let me join an established band and learn how to do it. Like, he
did everything the right way.
absolutely.
It's no wonder why he's so successful.
Yeah, even the whole going to the power station and being their
Yes.
gopher. And
Yes.
But to a certain degree, because this is the thing, there's a lot of people out there who are mega talented, and there's a lot of people who do all the right things. But he also was very fortunate because his cousin worked at that place.
Yes.
Because he
You always
was-
have to know somebody
right,
somewhere
because
at some time.
he was in Asbury and got to meet Bruce right before he
Yeah.
broke. You know what I mean? Like, there were a lot of things that really aligned for him. Not
Yeah.
taking anything away from him or his
Right.
talent or his drive.
Sure.
But I'm just saying there were a lot of things that lined up exactamundo. There was a hole in the market when one of the bands, I forget who it was.
Oh, the Scorpions when they went on tour?
Something
They
happened.
toured
where,
with Scorpions, right?
Yeah, but there just were different things that lined up that were very advantageous to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
so then I have, he's all over the place. Some days he's looking forward to it. Other days he's regretting it. And basically he says, I don't need to do this. I want to do this. And that's important. He doesn't need to do
Yeah.
this. His mom was a florist and had a gift shop. He didn't come from a musical family. When he was 12 or 13 is when he got interested in music. His father was a hairdresser, which explains his great hair. I had no
Yeah.
idea his father, and his grandfather was a plumber. He wasn't the best singer in school or even on his block or even in his house. And that just shows you, like, if you want something bad enough, you can really make it happen.
And his stage, I mean, I do think that he sounded good when he was younger. I feel terrible saying this, but I do think he lost something.
Well, it's not terrible. He says it. I mean,
I feel bad, but but his stage presence. I saw him in concert a couple of years ago. I went with Lorianne and Kelsey. Yeah. He didn't sing a lot of his old stuff, which I was a little disappointed. I went with Lorianne and her niece Kelsey, whose baby shower was out today. But we had a great time. He's just got a great stage presence.
I mean, obviously. I could see that.
Obviously.
Yeah. In 2019, he thought maybe it's time to call it quits. He had 3 different vocal coaches, 4 lasers to decrease the inflammation on his vocal cords. I mean, he was really doing everything he needed to do to try and get his voice to where it needed to be.
And he doesn't need it. So I truly believe he really was doing that for his fans.
Well, he wanted to do it, though.
Like
he wanted to do it. You know, there was another interview that I watched with him and Michael Strahan that was on ABC.
Did you watch it?
And one of the things he says to Michael Strahan is, like, he remembers when Michael was going through the pec surgery because, you know, he was injured on the field. And him and Michael could both, you know, relate to this. And they're going to go out when it's their time. They're not going to let their injury take them down. They're going to do everything they can to get them, you know, to say that I did everything I could.
Right.
And then I go out on my terms. And, you know, that's something to be respected.
For sure.
You know, not to just say, all right, well, this is it.
Yeah.
He didn't want to call it quits. And he certainly didn't need to do it. So he was playing at the Stone Pony in Asbury. Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes were there. Bruce Springsteen was there. The original name was the Atlantic City Expressway when he was still in high school and playing at the bars until 2 a.m.
Yeah.
In 1979, John was singing a Bruce song, and he looked up, and Bruce was on stage singing with him. Now, if that is not the most amazing thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they're still friends today.
Yeah, I mean, like that they showed that at the end.
Yeah, they're still Jersey boys. They still go driving around.
They take rides together.
And he likes to look to Bruce because Bruce is a little bit older than him. Not much, but a little bit older than him. So he kind of sees what he's got further on down the road.
I never liked Bruce.
I never did either.
No, I'm not a big Bruce fan.
I never did either. And you know what? People from Jersey really take offense to that.
I know.
When you're from Jersey and you're not a Bruce Springsteen. I mean, people, we're going to get a lot of hate about this. I'm telling you that right now.
I know.
If you live in Jersey and you are not a Bruce Springsteen fan, people take offense to that.
I'm going to really send it over the edge. I think he sounds like Cartman from South Park. I really do.
And I think all of his songs sound the same.
Except for Jersey Girl, but he didn't write that. That's not his song.
Right.
So he doesn't even sing it when he goes to when he does concerts because of the copyrights.
Whose song is it?
I don't know, but it's not his.
That's interesting.
Yep, it's not his. But I love that song.
Well, it's our anthem.
And he does sing it extremely well. I'll give him that.
It is our anthem.
So then senior year of high school, he quit his own cover band because he wanted to make his own music. And he didn't want to sing other people's songs. That's what I had just mentioned.
Yeah.
Then in 1980, he went to work at the power station because John's cousin worked there. 1982, he was taking a bus to New York and saw the kids on the street. That was his inspiration for Runaway.
Yeah, I love
and that
song.
was a good song.
Great song. Great song.
He sent it out to 11 record companies, and they all said no. There was no radio station. There was a radio station, WAPP, and they were so new that they didn't even have a receptionist. So he just walked on in there and handed the cassette to the DJ. Mm-hmm. And the DJ...
That's so funny, cassettes.
I know.
Yes.
And the DJ's like, this is a hit. And he's like, I know. And then all of a sudden he started playing it. And that's really what he needed. Like, that's what he needed.
Yeah.
I like how he said in the docuseries, how he said, because to me, this really explains to me where he was coming from, is when he says that he was not going to be the fat Elvis.
Yes, I thought that was interesting too.
To me, that explains his whole deal. It's not about the fame. It's not about the fortune. He's just
his legacy.
If he was going to go out, he was going to go out in a blaze of glory.
Yep.
And he wasn't. You know what I mean? So to me, that's just the premise of the whole deal.
Yeah.
So then next I have John and Richie singing together was Magic. Richie Sambora was a part of Bon Jovi from 1983 to 2013.
I'm going to say something.
Yes.
I don't think Richie ever was comfortable being
the second guy
in the group.
Well, before he was in Bon Jovi, he was a leader in his own band.
Exactly.
And then Doc McGee was Motley Crue's manager.
Yep.
They were playing at MSG. Last minute, ZZ Top canceled. That's who canceled.
That's what I'm saying.
And
those
at the
were
last,
the holes.
yes, last minute, ZZ
okay.
Top canceled. They didn't have a manager or a crew or anything. So Doc knew that he had to get him there. So he rented a prop plane. A limo showed up, and he fell in love with Doc McGee, and that became his manager. And he got there, and they played the gig.
Yeah.
So they were always about the music. They were never on stage fucked up, which I admire that.
Absolutely.
Even that Alec? Even that guy? I guess he held it together during the shows.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and John really didn't do the drugs.
It doesn't, no, he said that.
Didn't do the alcohol or the drugs, which
Right.
honestly, in that business, that in itself is impressive.
It's commendable.
Yeah. Then they opened.
Wait. Can you just, I just got to interrupt.
Okay, but why are you whispering?
I don't know. It's a bad habit. Can you imagine the tale that man got in life?
All of them. All of them.
Yes.
Because I'll tell you what, Tico Torres ain't too shabby himself. Even today, he looks the best out of all of them, I think.
Yeah.
Not better than John.
Oh, I think he looks better than John.
Because he dyes his hair. If John dyed his hair, you'd think he'd look better.
No.
Oh, you like that look.
I do like that
I don't
look.
think Richie Sambora was looking good.
No.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Okay. Nowhere to Everywhere. That was the Omaha, Nebraska first tour of 2022. 1985, they rushed the second record out. It wasn't good. See, this is what I'm saying. They go from Nebraska 2022, then they go back to 1985. Because I took the notes kind of in order as it was going. Because I didn't know what the heck was going on.
Well, yeah, how else are you going to do it?
Right, I didn't know what was going on. So then 1985, they rushed the second record out, and it wasn't good enough. The first video was for Runaway, but they were out on tour. Then they put another album out, and then they're out on tour again. Like they were burning themselves out too quick.
Yeah.
The third album was When the Vision Was Clear. Then show 10 out of 15, John was really struggling vocally. The doctors didn't have answers for him. And when John first started touring, his first two records weren't that big. He had a lot of show practices and really had to hone his craft. So I guess it's by the third tour is really when he felt like, okay, I'm ready to. But I mean, he had a lot of shows under his belt at that point because they went out strong.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting. Like in my mind, I was thinking, oh, they went and toured Japan and all this stuff after they were popular. But no. They did all that in the beginning.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they were touring all over the world,
over the place,
which is crazy.
Is that when they got locked down in Japan?
Yeah, I think so. I'm sure I'll have a note on it when we get there. Then John told Richie early on that he needs to write songs for someone else because he saw Bryan Adams writing for Tina Turner, and they did it as a duet. So he wanted to bring in somebody that could write songs and that they could sing it together so that they could bring that fan base in.
Right.
Kind of like what we say about the podcast. We want to bring on other podcasters so we can bring in their fan base to grow
Of course,
right?
Of course,
So he knew that early on, like this is what you have to do to grow it.
Yeah.
So then he reached out to Desmond Childs, and they came up with You Give Love a Bad Name and Living on a Prayer. They finished it and decided it was too good, so they kept it. And it was. I mean, those were great songs. Yep. Those were great songs. The entire verse in one chord, and there's no bass line. I don't know what I wrote that about. Then they went on to Vancouver, Canada, and recorded Slippery When Wet. And that's your favorite. And my favorite. I think from listening, I think that would have been my favorite too.
Never Say Goodbye's on there. I Would Die for You.
I love how they couldn't use the cover.
They thought it was too racy.
But do you know, I remember, so when Patty was in high school, her boyfriend was Pat Mulcahy. Shout out Pat Mulcahy. And we love Pat. And he went to a Bon Jovi concert. He must have gotten backstage. He brought her home an album, and it was signed by David Bryan.
Oh.
And that cover, I remember that girl pulling down it was definitely that cover. So at some point, they must have put albums out with that cover on with the girl.
Maybe they had them, and maybe those were their giveaways at concerts. Maybe it wasn't what they could sell.
Put in the stores. You're right. You're right. Maybe you had to buy them there on the tables.
Or they gave them away because maybe you couldn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but he got it signed. He met David Bryan.
So at that point, when they put out Slippery When Wet, and You Give Love a Bad Name, it went number one. But they're opening up for 38 Special. Now, it sounds to me like at that point they were bigger than 38 Special.
Oh, absolutely.
Like 38 Special should have been opening up for them.
one song by
right?
38 Special.
Oh, 38 Special was like, hell yeah. Because they said 38 Special made a lot of money and tried to get him to stay on the tour. And
right.
He was like, no.
Right.
So then in 1 month after that, they were able to times everything by 10. So once they went number one, now they're the headliner.
Yeah.
After that happens.
Yeah.
Then Jon did Blaze of Glory solo. Richie did his solo album. Okay, I guess that's when they separate a little bit.
Yeah, that's when they took a break,
yeah,
I guess.
So Jon did Blaze of Glory solo. Then Richie did his solo album, Stranger in This Town.
That didn't go anywhere.
Doc says there was always tension between Jon and Richie because of the competition. Yeah. None of them knew if they were going to get back together.
I don't think he liked being the second guy. He thought he should be the front man.
Well, I mean, it's called Bon Jovi.
I totally agree with you. And it was his vision. Right. He put it together.
Yeah, but look, this is the thing. In the end, let's ride the wave, bro.
Oh, no shit.
Let's ride the wave.
I mean, because you're doing a lot of the vocals anyway.
Right,
you are front on the stage.
You're playing the guitar. You're getting laid just as much.
You're the second person people think of.
You're the lead guitar player. He was the lead guitar player.
And you're the second person people think of when they think of Bon Jovi, the band.
Right.
You know?
Just go with it, bro.
For sure. It's not like you're getting any less ass.
No.
Right. So then Jon has the problem with his vocal cords, and they say he can have surgery to fix it. The doctor tells him he cannot sing a note for 3 months.
So this has been a long time.
This has been going on a long time. After
I never even knew about his
voice
problem.
Me neither.
After the surgery, he starts acting. Doc didn't support his decision to act. Jon then let Doc go because, he wasn't supporting him. Jon knew he wanted to achieve whatever. And then he brought on Paul Korzelius. And they started JBM, the Jon Bon Jovi Management, which was very successful.
Yeah.
Once he let Doc go, he brought on this other guy, and they were going to do their whole management. They were going to, do the tour, and they were going to do the managing of the tour.
Right.
And it's weird because you see his brothers a little bit in this, Jon Bon Jovi's. I didn't even know he had brothers.
No, me neither.
And I think that they were an intricate part of the management company, but we didn't really get that information in this docuseries, and I don't know why.
I mean, I guess Tess said it because she was in the dining room when I was watching. She's like, did he direct this or produce it? She's like, why is it all him? And I'm like, well,
it is
called the band is Bon Jovi.
Right.
Like it was his vision. But I mean, I think it was based, it was his vision to do the docuseries. So I guess you're trying to put all of this information in, and there's enough to focus on with just the band members alone. Now you're going to start bringing in siblings. It was probably just too much.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah.
So let's see. At the age of 28 or 29, that's when he started his own management company. Jon decided to hire a psychotherapist for the band to sit down and talk, and he acted as a mediator. Like, what rock and roller hires a psychotherapist? When I was watching it, Bill would come.
We all need to get along.
Bill would come in. He's like, yeah, he brings witch doctors out with him on tour. I'm like, I don't think they're witch doctors. I think he brings his vocal coach, his psychotherapist, his chiropractor. Right. Yeah. I don't think he's bringing witch doctors, but I guess he has that reputation of being a healthy rock and roller, and that's not a bad thing.
No.
I mean, that's how you make it 40 years.
Well, that's it. It's very interesting, exactly, to follow his career and to see how he lived that whole time.
Yeah.
Because I guess we'll get to it with the guy Alec.
Yes, we will get there. So let's see.
Well, they're from New Jersey. We do what we got to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We do what we got to do.
So then Jon had to come to terms with turning 30, being married and making hits. Keeping the Faith became the biggest tour that they'd ever done. Now we're back to 2022. When he got off stage in Nashville, he thought it went great, but then his wife told him it wasn't great.
The Hard Rock? I mean, the
Nashville
Hall of Fame?
No, the Nashville. It was a part of the tour in Nashville. We're not even, the Hall of Fame is
that's late. Okay.
Yeah, it's much later. And that was his 2022 Nashville one.
Okay.
He thought he did great, and his wife, which, you know what? Good for her.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what you do.
If anybody's going to be honest with him, it's got to be her.
Yeah.
Well, listen, let me tell you something. Without her, he would not have been able to enjoy any kind of a normal life.
Yeah.
And he was fortunate because he got to have both.
Yeah.
He got to have a supportive wife. He got to have a family. He got to experience that and do his rock and roll shit.
And be a rock and roll star. Yeah.
And he says that. He says he would be nowhere, that she's the one running the ship. Right. And we know that as wives, moms, we know that we are the ones running the ship. So then when he got off the stage in 2022, the doctors said, I can get you to 80%. And he's like, he said, is that good enough? He's like, no, but maybe it's time for me to retire. But he did decide to, have the surgery and try again to rehab his voice. Then after that surgery, he wasn't able to sing for 5 months. That's a long time.
That is a long time.
He's still healing at this point. Mentally, he's in a good place, but at one point, he was in a very dark place. And I can imagine if your whole life is singing and you can't sing and you're trying to rehab a voice, that's hard for anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, good thing he has a psychotherapist.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We all think therapy's good.
Absolutely.
Right.
Huge
I'd like
proponents.
my own psychotherapist.
Yeah. Now we go back to 2004. 2004, he was introduced to John Shanks as a producer. And he was huge. I mean, John Shanks really, after watching this docuseries, I mean, he's the one who really turned it around, especially when Richie Sambora flaked out on them.
Right.
And didn't come. And he's the one who brought in, I don't remember his name, but I have it in here. The new guy.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. But I want to ask a question.
Uh-huh.
So besides, because I didn't get to watch it.
Okay.
So besides not wanting to be going up head to head with Bon Jovi and feeling like second best Richie Sambora, what was his deal?
So his deal his deal was he had a shoulder injury. He says this. He had a shoulder injury.
Okay.
And then he got prescribed pain medication. And, you're mixing the pain medication, and then he became addicted to the pain medication, and you're mixing that with alcohol.
He was a drinker, though, because he went on Stern and said, he would drink at home alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
But personally, not that I find anything
Listen, we're not judging. We are not judging.
No, but he has substance abuse issues.
Yeah. Okay.
And went to rehab 3 times.
And didn't he have some...
He was married to Heather Locklear, and they had a daughter.
But wasn't there something with her, too, with Heather Locklear? Was there something?
He said, so when he doesn't show up, he said that his wife was having some mental health issues.
No, he was a single... I thought John said he was a single dad at that point. They were separated.
But she was having mental health issues, so he had to go be with his daughter.
Right.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and in the docuseries, which you didn't see, he does say at the end, he doesn't regret leaving. He does regret how he did it.
Right.
How he did it, right.
And
he just didn't show up.
He just didn't show up.
Right.
And they were getting ready to go on.
Yeah.
There was a private plane waiting for him, and he just didn't show up.
Yeah, he didn't show up.
That's not cool.
No.
So when he meets John Shanks as a producer, he brought a lot of technology to them. So he was the guy who knew how to do all the remixing and knew how to do all that kind of stuff.
We need somebody like that.
Yeah, we do.
We definitely need a Shanks here. I mean, that would be helpful.
Hit us up.
He could hear and see that Richie and John had been singing together for a long time, and their vibrato was in sync. And then Shanks wrote, "Have a Nice Day." And this is kind of when Richie kind of felt slighted, because Richie at this point wasn't, because he had the broken arm and he was on the pain pills, and 3 times. They wrote it without him, and Richie was always the guy he wrote the songs with.
Yeah.
It was always John and Richie.
Yeah.
So then when Richie didn't show up, Shanks and John wrote the song, and Richie's like, well, they can do it without me. Maybe they don't even need me here.
So, and basically what Richie said was, John got real serious about times. You got to be here at this time. So basically he wasn't showing up when they asked him to show up to work on the project. And then he would get pissed off when he did finally show up and the project was done.
Well, where are you going with that? No.
Right.
Right.
No.
And then that
sounds familiar about something I just told you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So then that's when it says missing his wife and daughter. John wrote the song called Fighter, and Richie didn't get to play the acoustic guitar part.
Oh, yeah, he was pissed about
that. And that was another part another thing that really pissed him off.
And it was a 10-second riff.
Yeah, so Shanks and John wrote all the songs on the album, and Richie felt like it didn't sound like Bon Jovi's at all. So he felt like, okay, I'm not here. They're writing all the songs on the album without me. It's not Bon Jovi. Like, what am I even doing here? And on top of that, he's having, issues with the
so he had a perfect storm going on. Yes. Perfect storm going on.
Yes. Yeah. And then April of 2013, Bobby Bandiera had to step up and do all the guitar parts. That's when Richie just didn't show. So they had to just bring him up. He had to, take that on. And that's when Jon said to Shanks, like, what, we need to replace Richie. Like, what are we going to do? And he's like, I know this guy from Canada, Phil X. So he'd been watching this guy, Phil X, on YouTube and saw that he was a really talented guitarist. So that's how Phil X came to be in the Bon Jovi. Yeah. And so he came in and he filled in for this tour. But then when Richie came back. And Phil X backed out. Like, he's like, this isn't my part. And he even said when they offered it to him, he's like, I can't fill Richie Sambora's shoes. But actually he could. He could fill. I mean, listen, he's a class act, I'd say. Phil X is a class act. Yeah. Yeah. He was there for them when they needed him. Then he stepped back. Yep. And then he came back again.
Right.
I just want those pants. I want those Python pants. Those gray and black.
All right. You can probably find them.
All right, sorry, I just interject. We have a picture on our screen of the young Bon Jovi band, and they have on some very cool pants.
That guy Alex was good looking too, back in the day.
Now, which one is he? Oh, with the little weird goatee thing?
Yeah. So March 17th, 2013 was Richie's last show. St. Patrick's Day. Just a little side note there. So then Jon takes a train to Delaware. Again, now we're jumping all over the place to go see that Obie O'Brien, his very first producer from the Power Station.
I thought he was going to say Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I know. Me too. He has all of his stuff in the studio from the original Jersey studio down in Delaware. I thought, listen, when Jon Bon Jovi was sitting on a train, I'm like, where is he going?
Right.
He was going to Delaware. But Jon Bon Jovi can have a driver.
I know.
And he didn't care. He's getting on the train. He's going to Delaware. Like, that's how down to earth Jon Bon Jovi is.
Yes.
And again, I give him a lot of credit for that. Yeah. Like, he doesn't have this air about him, and he certainly could.
He doesn't have it at all.
No, he does not.
So from 2014 to 2018, Jon couldn't pick up his guitar at all. Which I don't know how that is, because I guess it was 2013 was when they finished the tour. And I guess he took a break. And he did say that it was too much, all those back-to-back tours. So I guess 2014 to 2018 and it was his least favorite thing to do.
I'm sorry.
No,
let
that's
me just interject real quick. I believe it was his daughter was a heroin addict. Now, they don't talk about this at all in the docuseries. But even if he did have some kind of an ego at some point in his life, that will humble the F out of you. Mm-hmm. So that could be, I believe I read one time where they had to bring her back with Narcan.
Oh.
So, but God bless her. I think she's doing well now. She's in recovery and doing well.
Good.
And his son recently just got married to Millie, what's her name?
Millie Bobby Brown. Yeah, from Stranger Things.
Oh.
In Italy.
What's her name? 11?
11.
Yeah. And his son,
she's gorgeous.
Jake. Yes. Jake. Yeah. His son, in Italy, they got married.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which is fabulous.
Absolutely.
Let's see. So now we jump back to 2002. 2018, they're going out on tour. Okay, so now he's going out on tour again in 2018. And Bobby Bandieri wasn't going to go. So now John Shanks steps in, and he's always been there as a producer, but now he's also brought on Everett Bradley as a singer, and he played with him in 1997 on the Destination Anywhere tour. Mm. He was really good when I never even, didn't even know he existed.
Right.
Now the band is Tico, David Hugh, John Everett, and John Shanks. That's who the band is at that point. 2018, Bon Jovi inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they get to see Richie's there. So it's Richie, David Bryan, Hugh McDonald, Tico Torres, Sir Alec John Such, and Jon Bon Jovi. That was the first time they had seen or talked to Richie in 5 years.
And how long? I wonder how long it had been with Alec, because they kicked him out of the band.
They didn't mention that in this docuseries at all.
They mentioned kicking him out.
I missed it. When did they kick him out?
I don't know, but because I didn't watch the Michael Strahan interview, but I watched the docuseries. They definitely talked about that because his substance abuse got so out of hand.
Oh,
it was pretty early on.
See, I didn't know that. I missed that part.
And then somebody else one of those guys was, in the background. They said he was always there when they were recording. So he just stepped right in.
So, maybe that was Bobby Bandieri.
Maybe. The guy with the long hair.
Then, Alec John Such died at age 70, June 5th, 2022.
Yeah,
and
was
that
sad.
really hit the band hard because then they kind of realized about their mortality.
Yeah.
At 70 years old, I mean, God bless him.
Yeah.
Living that life and living till 70. Yeah.
I'm sure he hopefully was in recovery at that point, but he lived a hard life.
Right.
Let's
see. They thought about mortality until, okay. Bruce is a little bit further down the line. February 2023, he's singing and he's not happy with his voice. It's too raspy and it doesn't even sound like him. Then we jump back to 2020 and he's supporting Al Gore and he was at the White House he was at his house the night of the election when he had to concede.
And they should just, entertainers, actors and actresses should just stay in their own lane and we don't need to know who they support.
No, he's very vocal, and Bruce is very vocal at his concerts because I do know people who stopped going to see Bruce because of his political views. And not because of the political views that he had, just that he won't shut up about it. Like, I paid to watch you sing.
Right. I didn't pay to get your opinion
to see you campaign.
On what you fucking think about anything.
Right.
And I don't think, same thing.
Right.
Jane Fonda, all of them.
All of them. I totally agree with you.
Shut your trap.
I totally agree.
And do what you know.
Because people are paying for this.
Right. Do what you do best and leave the rest.
Right.
And then he talks a little bit about the Soul Foundation and his mission is trying to change the poverty level.
Which is nice.
Absolutely.
He's giving back to the community and volunteers and inspiring and helping others. Yeah. In 2019, announced he's doing a new album and it was going to be called 2020. He was all ready for it to come out and go on tour, and then COVID happened.
Yeah.
Which we know.
They're like, that's a pretty bold title for an album.
Yeah. And then he talks about how he channels George Floyd, Black Lives Matters on a new American Reckoning style with that album. He writes a song called American Reckoning, and they couldn't tour with that until 2022 because of the pandemic. So that album didn't happen until 2 years later.
Yeah.
Then March of 23, it was 9 months after his surgery, and he hadn't played music with the band since Nashville when he walked off the stage and contemplated retirement. So, that's good that he got himself back out there.
Yeah.
He definitely got some new choppers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I have a progression photo up.
I think he's still good looking.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just saying.
Do you think that's his real hair?
He definitely got some nice teeth.
I don't think it is.
I don't think it's real hair either.
I mean, it looks good.
It's fine.
Who cares?
Absolutely.
It's fine.
Listen,
it
my
looks
husband
good.
and I call fake hair on men, we call them rugs.
I think everyone does.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's just you and your husband.
Okay. So it's a good rug.
Okay.
It's a good rug. So you go ahead with your bad self because it's working. It's a good rug.
Yeah, no, he looks good.
Yeah.
Then he's singing Legendary with the band. That's his most recent.
Yeah, I like that song.
Yeah. And he may not tour again, but that is not all he is.
Yeah, I mean, you could still put albums out and not tour.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, obviously
Or you could just sit at your house and fucking enjoy yourself and have some people over and sing to them if you really want to sing. You know what I'm saying?
You know who I believe used to live near him? Because he's on the Navasink, right?
Yes.
Okay. Steve Gertler.
Oh. Just dropping a little name there.
Well, I will tell you
that's
this.
That's the worst boss I ever had.
He has since passed?
Sure has.
Okay. Right, may he rest in peace. Or
Kelly
not.
And I are like, goodbye. But peace out, bro.
Okay, maybe we don't put that clip on social media.
Why not?
No, I'm just joking.
Oh, okay. Because we don't really care. Do it. Yeah. Okay, so I have my friend had some she has a place in Florida, and she had some window treatments done. And the person who did her window treatments also did Jon Bon Jovi's window treatments because he has a home in Florida. And he was saying how really nice and awesome he was. Like, even sent him like a little video clip, raising a glass of wine to him, saying his name and saying, you know, thank you so much, Ari. Like, I love all my window treatments. You did a great job. Like,
that's nice.
Well, I thought that was like, when he told me that, I was like, wow. Yeah. He even showed us the video. He's like, yeah, isn't it so cool? He said
that is cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Nice.
So it kind of ends with a year after surgery. He's still not touring, but he still has 26 new songs in a notebook, waiting for his next album. If he can't do it at 102%, he says thank you and good night.
Yeah,
which is the whole name of this, the docuseries.
Yeah.
And like we said, he doesn't have to tour. He's got these songs, and they can be his legacy too.
Yeah.
He's had a great run, 40 years.
Sure. Not everybody's going to be Mick Jagger jumping around on that stage until he probably passes.
Right. Right, on stage.
I don't know how they do it.
I don't either, but he clearly has an issue and has for a long time with his voice. So why don't do it? Like,
but it's his passion. It's his passion.
I get it,
it's his
but
passion.
It's like don't lose your voice.
Right.
But I guess when you're that, I'm not that passionate about anything, I guess, that I wouldn't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But I would imagine. Yeah. I would imagine through this process that he's come to his own conclusion about where he is. And you know what I mean? I think that's one of the good things about doing something like that, kind of documenting your whole journey. It's really for himself, too.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure he learned a lot about himself and learned to accept
Yeah, I'm
things
sure this
about
was
himself.
very cathartic for him. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
His wife seems lovely, by the way. The fact that they've been together for so long is a testament to
it's because she's a Jersey girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he kind of alluded to in his docuseries that it's not like he's been faithful the whole time. Like, he didn't...
See, I didn't get that.
I didn't either.
I got that he was saying up until he got married. He had hundreds of girlfriends. He was not. He was like, I'm no angel.
And not that he was. It was kind of like the situation deal. Like, she was in his life, but he was definitely. Okay. But I did take it as once they got married,
that was it.
He was faithful.
All right, well, that's good to know because that's not how I understood it, and I'm glad that I misunderstood it because I feel like I wanted to be the good guy.
Either way, they're still married. Right. They're making it work, and it's a beautiful thing. So whatever happened. Yeah.
And
he was fucking Jon Bon Jovi.
Yeah. Right. Thank you for all you gave us, Jon Bon Jovi.
Yeah,
absolutely.
For sure.
I will tell you that in high school, I actually dated someone for a short while. I think he actually passed away, but...
Well, may he rest in peace.
Yes, may he rest in peace. He was a cutie. But he was actually a grade below me, which I had never done before.
Cougar.
Yes.
1 year?
Yeah, 1 year.
We're talking about 12 months.
That's a lot.
That's what Joe calls Kylie.
Yeah. But I actually dated someone, and one of the draw to them was that they were from Sayreville.
Oh.
And I was always like, can we go and visit your family?
There's a possibility there might be a Jon Bon Jovi sighting.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Like, yeah, for sure.
When you're like in high school and you think to yourself, you have like these. So yes, John was a fodder.
Kind of like you and I have the housewife.
For sure.
Sighting ideas. Like
the hunting.
Yes.
We hunt.
Yeah, well, I was on the hunt. I was on the hunt for Mr. Bon Jovi.
Well, it's a better word than stalk.
Yeah, well,
no, we don't do either.
No.
So I do have a quote.
Okay.
It's map out your future, but do it in pencil. The road ahead is as long as you make it worth the trip. Bon Jovi.
Oh, there you go.
That's
is that from a song?
Nope, that's just something that he says.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that, right?
I like it too.
Yeah.
But I actually had a lot of fun with it. I did watch the Michael Strahan interview, and I watched 1.5 of the episodes.
Yeah.
But what for me was nice is it definitely brought me back to that time when I was listening to that music, and that, like, It's interesting because today my husband was working, my daughter was working. And so I was home alone and I was outside and I was stripping this rocking chair outside. And I felt like I was in the 80s. I had my husband's little transistor radio.
Why?
Because I like that as opposed to having like my phone with the earbuds listening to music. I had like old school, like the little transistor radio.
Yeah.
And I was listening to the Rat, which is a radio station we have in New Jersey.
It's still here?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was listening to like all the classic rock. So it was fun.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that.
I thought I enjoyed watching it because for the same reason it brought me back to that time. I don't think it needed to be as long as it was. However, I'm not a diehard Bon Jovi fan. Diehard Bon Jovi fans probably loved every second of it and were happy it was as long as it was.
It did get good reviews.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed it for sure.
And I believe his latest album, I think I just heard it just came out on Apple Music.
So it's good timing.
Yeah, perfect timing.
There you go.
We're not usually that well timed, but in this particular instance, we are.
Oh, I meant good timing for him to get but I'm sure that was planned. But you're right. Yes. Good timing for us, too.
Good timing for us, too. Phew. Phew. So, Bon Jovi, we're just like you. We are living on a prayer.
We are living on a prayer.
There you go.
Every day.
Every day.
Until next time, thank you for watching and listening to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
And I'm Lori. Night-night.
Bye.